You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another TADPOG podcast. It's a show that happens weekly, where two old guys and just the sweetest pair of sweethearts you've ever met
thanks, guys.
talk about old games.
Sometimes.
It's so old, we finished it 30 minutes ago.
Yeah,
So-
let's Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, so this will be our wrap-up, discussion, commentary over the Son of Sam Call of Cthulhu game that I ran, which is just fresh on our minds right now.
Just finished.
I can see the heartbreak still on everybody's face.
Yeah, we were all
Yeah,
just betrayed
and
and murdered.
I do just want to clarify. I know I did to you guys, but I'll clarify to the audience. Whenever I said that sucks, that ending sucks, I meant for our characters, not for us as gamers. I thought that was a pretty clean, pretty good way to wrap things up. Pretty appropriate.
Yeah,
I think, so.
I thought it was a fitting end.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I think this episode is just, we can just dive right into talking about everything about it. So if you like Call of Cthulhu, if you like the game, you'll probably like this episode. If it wasn't your bag, we'll see you next week. Because this would be, if you didn't listen to Call of Cthulhu, this would be the worst episode to listen to.
Except for maybe Tyler and Dave fail at math.
Yeah, that's the worst
That's
episode. Still the worst episode.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm your bearded host, Tyler. I ran a game. That game, because I've been wanting to run a Call of Cthulhu game for a while. I like the system, and I feel like after Little Fears went over so well, I wanted to run this, but I wanted to do something different. And then after listening to the last podcast on the left, do their Son of Sam episode, I was in the shower, and it clicked with me. I should do one over this, but what can I do? How can I make that work? And
Let me quit masturbating long enough to write this down.
Put my dick down. So I sort of figured it out pretty quickly, because when I was listening to that podcast, they were talking about David Berkowitz. He started doing interviews in the 90s where he claimed that he was all part of a demon worshipping cult, and that it was all to the ends of this church. So then that is where, and then I heard they even mentioned the Process Church.
Really?
And that it was all like this demon worshipping cult. And I was like, oh shit, Cthulhu.
Right.
That's just where I'm taking all these real life events and theories and conspiracy theories, and I'm just going to put them all in there. And it all sort of filled itself in together. And that's where the game just Athena style cracked open my forehead and burst to life.
Right.
So, well, before I just start rambling about bases of the game, I know everybody has got the stuff they want to talk about. So,
Kind of.
okay, you guys, do you have questions, thoughts?
I liked the game a lot. I thought the graphics kind of sucked, but
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
the story was good.
You couldn't even see anything.
But I did. I enjoyed it. I thought it was what I thought was the best part about it is because I'm not super familiar. I know who the Son of Sam is and all that, but I'm not familiar with like a lot of the details. I like the fact that you grabbed like actual writings and stuff like that to kind of like blur the line between fantasy and fiction.
Well, Dave,
Fantasy and reality,
I just want to point out this
Yes.
game uses the most powerful graphics card ever. Your imagination. But yeah, I'm the same as you. I knew who he was, but I don't know the details. So it was kind of interesting. Some of the TADPOG Patreon donors' names kind of gave some things away, but yeah, I thought it was a good interesting kind of combination between reality and history and horror fantasy.
So Josh and I are dum-dums when it comes to Son of Sam. Nicole, on the other hand, is probably, arguably,
Because you knew it pretty quickly. Like,
the most informed.
70s New York. Oh, Son of Sam.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all the little real stuff sprinkled in.
I really tried to put a lot of that in there. So especially because it wasn't explained in game, but like because of the conspiracy theory of the CIA distributing crack to the inner cities.
Right.
Had he been pushed about it, Zeus would have admitted that while fear drove the process church's magic, despair drove his. So he was causing despair in the black community by getting these drugs out there and making a profit off basically modern slavery and getting them imprisoned, and then prison labor and profit and things like that. That was his motivation for getting crack onto the streets.
Well, then that doesn't seem very knightly.
No, not at all. Yeah, but it was to fuel their magic in fighting off the cult of Cthulhu. So it means to an end for him.
That brings up a question that I kind of wanted to ask on mic. We talked about this a little bit right after the game, but like I assumed that after I saw what went down with Brock and Donna, I assumed that if Chili Dog had declined the offer to join MK Ultra, that he would have killed Chili Dog.
Yep.
Or attempted to, at least.
Yep.
I hate having that knowledge, because now I'm like, well, I wish I could have fought him. I wish I could have seen, like, maybe there was a chance.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think best case scenario, you both would have died.
Yeah. Damn it. I wish that would have happened, especially if he met with Chili Dog first. Because then Donna and Brock potentially
Which
could have
he went to you
survived.
first, so the others are still alive. So you don't find out something happened to them.
Oh, I
would have
killed them.
or things like that. Yep. Yep.
Oh well, I mean, we were warned about him essentially, and granted
It was from
source
the-
was questionable,
right.
but still, we could have taken precautions, but we chose to trust him. So I mean, it really was our fault. So.
Yeah.
Granted,
I don't know if it was our fault.
We were pretty reckless. We were.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We were more Guardians of the Galaxy than I had thought we were gonna be. But hey, it was working for us, so why not?
Yeah, sorry about
up
that.
until the end, but
Yeah, because I never pulled a single punch at all in this game. Like, if you would have died, one of you just would have died. Mm-hmm. And then you could have played Rob Torres or whatever. Like, it would have, that's just how it
the
worked
children
out.
as one character.
Oh, man, now I kind of wish Chili Dog had died.
But yeah, I figured if you would have went after Zeus, you just would have Cloak of Fire, and it just been
Yeah.
Yeah, both of you died.
Yeah, it's a bummer that I didn't know that he was going to murder us all.
Yeah, because like I mentioned on the mic, but like, yeah, MK Ultra is another conspiracy theory sort of program about the CIA. Yeah, heavily experimenting with LSD to try and extract the truth out of people, implant false memories, alter memories, make soldiers, it was also big with children. Like, I think they tried to turn children into sexual soldiers.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, it's a whole, with adults and it's a whole big fucked up conspiracy theory thing about MK Ultra.
Well, I'm imagining Chili Dog in a hilarious romp, Weapon X style, where he breaks out and goes on a murdering spree in MK Ultra. When he finds out that Brock and Donna are dead, of course.
Yeah, because basically this game, it had 3 different endings from the get-go.
We'll play again and
New
try
game
to unlock
plus?
it. Yeah, try to unlock it. We'll go fight the cultist. Or who are they summoning? Dagon?
They were summoning Cthulhu.
Oh, they were summoning.
Dagon is emissary of Cthulhu.
You said it was a star spawn. Yeah. We'll go like immediately meet up and go fight the star spawn. We'll go hit that warp point right to the star spawn boss.
It's a bucket in Donna's apartment. We go to the bucket in Donna's apartment.
Man, that star spawn is fucking nasty.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, they're so nasty.
Cthulhu.
Like, that would have been like maybe you could have beaten it, but it would have killed everybody.
Yeah.
Like, they're awful.
Oh, I assume it
But
would. The moment you said Little Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to hear about the alternate endings.
Me too.
But I really, really want to know what the gun did. What the
machine gun?
the
gym
camera,
firing?
gun.
The lightning gun was its formal name. It was created by that race that showed itself out of the Ruby.
The Venom Trap.
Right. Yeah.
Venom Fly Trap, dude.
Is a super long range weapon. Like, it basically creates a bolt of lightning that does, it's 1d10 or 2d10 points of damage, and it's just 100 yards plus.
Wow.
So you could have hit the barge with it.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh well. Oh well.
But It's also, you only have a 30% chance of using it every time you try to use it. A human tries to use it.
And we saw what happens when we try to use weapons that are based on luck rolls.
And it had 32 charges before it would have been exhausted.
I was super worried that when I rolled a 6 using that alien ray gun, that it was totally going to blow up in my
If that would have been in the rule book. But it was just basically 1 or 2 is success. Everything else doesn't work.
That is the only point in the game that I assumed that you had pulled a punch. Because when I saw that 6 come up, I was like, I'm dead. This thing is blowing the fuck up in my hand.
Yeah. But let's see, the 3 endings.
Yes, please.
1, just if you had all died, game over, worst ending. Bad ending, where you contact Zeus.
Gotcha.
Because once you contact him, it's the easiest way because he's going to help you.
Right.
But he's not going to let anybody live. And the good ending is where you figure out the gun on your own, shoot the gun without Zeus's help, which is harder, but everybody lives at the end.
So did we do it right? I mean, like, is shooting those stones with the gun the key to the solution to the puzzle? Okay. So if we would have tried to shoot the stones with, like, any other weapon...
Just deflect it off.
Gotcha.
Yep. So had we went to the barge and tried to destroy the fruit...
Mm-hmm. You would have fought the star spawn.
Okay.
Whew. Yeah, that would have been rough.
Would assuming we managed to kill the star swan somehow, would that have interrupted the ritual? Would that have stopped Cthulhu?
It would have, because it all sort of depends. If you'd really insisted to Zeus, like, you go after these guys, we've got this, we're here. And then they didn't have the gun, so they would have etched an elder sign on the pillar, which the portal with Cthulhu in it would have stayed there, and they would have basically had to guard that forever, but it would have stopped. And then you guys would have had to fight the star spawn.
Oh, so the stones that we were shooting, that was the portal?
Yeah, that was activating the portal.
Oh, okay. So that's where Cthulhu would have come through?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, because it would have gotten to him and then just grown larger and larger and larger until he could have stepped through.
What ending were you expecting us to get? The bad ending, I'm assuming?
No, I kind of thought you'd get the good ending.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, we fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I was worried. I think I just made sort of a little too obtuse, or
no. I mean,
out,
looking back on it, it was obvious.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
But in our defense, there was spans of time. Like there were spans of time between playing. Mm-hmm. That was kind of tough. I feel like if we had been doing this like nightly for a week, I feel like we would have done better.
That is fair, because there's a lot of names and stuff I didn't write down.
Totally.
That when we went back to the game 3 weeks later, I'd forgotten about. Yeah, I mean that is fair, but hey.
Also, because it's a podcast, I felt like when there was an option there to be like progress the story, where it's like, oh, talk to Zeus. Yeah, this will be a quick shortcut.
Yeah, it changes the nature of the game a little bit.
Because otherwise, you know me, Tyler, I would have been content to just fucking wait that shit out, just like think about it as long as possible, go over all the options, put the fucking red yarn through the fucking map
and make decisions that are entertaining to listen to and things like that. Playing like this is different. Yep,
it's fun still.
Yeah, I'm still happy with the way it turned out.
Yeah, me too.
It made it more cinematic.
Yeah, totally.
So. But I'm sorry I killed everybody. It was hard. It was hard for me to do.
Yeah,
because I didn't want to do it, but I knew that's what had to happen.
It's Call of Cthulhu.
So
I expected Chili Dog to die like probably at least once a session. I was like, well, this is probably where Chili Dog dies.
Because I guess the other like really close one was the Chthonian on the stairs.
Yeah.
Because if he'd hit you, if he'd rolled low, you would have lived. But more than likely, if he had hit anybody, they could have died.
Yeah.
Good thing we're willing to sacrifice cultists to delay it a little further.
Totally.
Nope, that worked out. I feel like it was well played the whole way through.
That was a fun session. That was my favorite session.
Yeah.
Because I felt like suspense was high. Because it was like, Nicole, when you failed the roll to get up the stairs, and there was a moment where it's like, well, Chili Dog's going to do it, and we're probably both going to die because he's going to fail this shit spectacularly. And by the grace of whoever's out there, I guess, we made it.
Bast, I think she's she's an active deity.
That's not evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I really enjoyed that game. That was one of my favorites. Just the whole game, the whole getting to the church, meeting the villains, essentially, sneaking in, finding those spell books.
Yeah.
Finding what's underneath. Yeah, I thought that was
Because I tried to hit a little bit of everything that Call of Cthulhu has to offer that you generally don't think you'll find in a typical game, but I just wanted to spells and artifacts.
Yeah, I've never played in a Call of Cthulhu game where spells have been used by the PCs. So it was cool to kind of, because like all these spells are new to me. Like I had to be, like while we were playing, I was looking spells up on my phone. Like, okay, I have this spell. What exactly does it do?
And some of the stuff I know is I didn't do it exactly right. Like I think some of the resistances and stuff like that and resisting magic, I just did it the easiest, simplest way. But I know like magic is also complicated with opposing powers or something. I didn't even, and the resistance table is confusing, so I just went with the easiest outcome. So, but no, I'm happy with how it worked out.
It reminded me of playing D&D like in the early days when we started playing, where it's like it was nice to kind of like just like we're in combat and I'm frantically like scrolling through spells. Like, will this work? No. Will this work? No. Should I contact Cthulhu?
Yeah, for me it was the same because just in a different way. Because you have that feeling like this is what I want to do, but mechanically speaking, I have no idea how to do it. Right. Yeah, so there was that kind of sense of wonder, I guess. But yeah, I'm not intimately familiar with the system like I was. It was D&D at one point, so it's definitely perked my interest. I've played in one other Call of Cthulhu game, so. And that was yours, Dave, actually. Now that I think about it.
It was.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I don't remember that.
It's been a long, long while.
What was the game about? Tell me about the game I ran.
It was, I want to say in the 20s, 30s, something like that. It was jazz.
Oh, yeah. I remember that running. Yeah, the trumpet. I remember running that now. That's actually out of the back of the Call of Cthulhu book.
It is? Okay.
Sure is.
Let's see, looking through my notes about stuff that may have not been clarified or that was missed. The copies of Dianetics that were given to you basically just granted you exemption from the fear siphoning.
Huh. Okay.
So that's just why you were immune to it, because she gave copies of Dianetics to people that she wanted to recruit.
You're talking about in the club,
church.
right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. Let's see. Well, Gentle G worked out better than I thought. I enjoyed playing Gentle G. I hated to kill him off in the first session.
What did you think was going to happen? You thought he was going to be... Was he supposed to be like an ongoing NPC?
No, he was always going to die in the first session. I just enjoyed playing him more than I expected. Let's see. There's one book you didn't read to collect those spells.
Where was it?
It was the book called The Festival that was written by H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh, I forgot that we did get that book.
It would have taught you... Because I tried to use all the spells that they would legitimately have. So whenever you saw the cultist take off being picked up by something, that was another cultist in bat form. So inside that book was the bat form spell.
That would have been cool on the rooftop. If we all rode, instead of taking the elevator, we all fly up as bats.
Could have been a superhero too.
I know. Damn it.
And then Brew Dream Drug was the other one.
Oh, that would have been a good one for
you. Yeah.
I'm assuming based on the title.
And let's see, John Lafitte is Call of Cthulhu canon. He is the fucking boogeyman of Call of Cthulhu. Like, he is outside of like an elder god, like he is the big bad. Because he's a real life figure, like a pirate.
Like he's a pirate, right? Because I actually, to be completely transparent here, I didn't look up any of his Call of Cthulhu stuff, but I was like, you had mentioned to me after a session, or maybe even during a session, that he was a real person. So I was like, let me find out about this. There's no way this is a real person. I mean, he has a Wikipedia entry, so that means he's real.
And they don't know exactly when he died or anything, but I believe the Call of Cthulhu canon is like, while on the seas, like he finds artifacts of Cthulhu and learns and worships Cthulhu and contacts him. And he has, in Dragon Con, I was awarded a book, like a Call of Cthulhu mod, that he's in it. That's where I got him from. Cool. Because it's all about voodoo and Call of Cthulhu and the Knights Templar in Louisiana. And he's a big part in that. So reading his character sheet is like he knows all these crazy kind of spells. He's immortal. He is absolutely insane. Like he has like a 99 Cthulhu mythos.
Wow.
His biggest power, though, is his 100% administration. So his business acumen and his investments and everything that he's built is what makes him nigh untouchable. So anything he wants to get done through administration, he fucking gets done. So he's just like and that's why that was his goal here, is to still to come summon Cthulhu, and he's doing it through one of his ventures, is the Process Church.
Except for the administration part, up until that point, I was like, okay, so Jean Lafitte is to Call of Cthulhu as Rasputin is to Hellboy.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Because that's like, as you're reading it, I was like, okay, that sounds like Rasputin from Hellboy.
Where did Marianne and Robert fit in? What exactly were they?
They are the real leaders of the Process Church.
Okay, but you kind of alluded in the game that they're very old.
Yeah, I wanted to give them a spin of like just a little older than they should have been. Like Lafitte, basically, he doesn't give immortality to anyone else, but there's that spell that can extend their lifespan by a few years. So that is how he keeps important people hooked into him. So he's the one who will artificially extend their life just a little bit at a time. So they have to keep going back to them and serve him.
I want to know about Steve and Ian's apartments.
Okay. They had moved in together. So that's why one person's apartment, I think Ian's apartment, was vacant. But he was the one that had doubts about the whole thing. Steve was the one who was whole hog into this. Ian had doubts, so he kept his apartment but moved in with Steve. And Steve was a spendthrift. As soon as he could get it, he spent it. That's what the bank call was about on his answering machine. So that's one way you could have tracked him, is that he still had used his credit card at the hotel Astor. So that was, you could have called Mark at that bank. And then he said, "Oh, his credit card."
Credit cards back then.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, they had credit cards. Yeah, it was the old like paper carbon
Knuckle
copy
busters.
one. Knuckle busters.
Yep.
That's what they're called.
Oh, I had to use those at restaurants before when the power goes down.
Oh, they're the worst.
Yep. Then I have to put them all in afterward when the power comes back up. Yeah, I fucking hate them. Let's see, because he was obsessed with music and the finer things in life, and he had an unbelievable amount of credit card debt, and that's sort of why he fell in with Jean Lafitte. Because he owned a lot of his debt.
Why was the stone in the toilet tank?
That's the only source of water he had, like
it needed
that he could
water.
keep it in. Yep, because Cthulhu is his water element, so it was a hidden place with lots of water where he could keep it to be respectful.
And in the mirror, when we saw Lafitte, what was that? Was he casting a spell?
He had it trapped to watch Berkowitz.
Oh, okay.
So whenever you came in, he could basically he could see you. So he just set off traps whenever you look into it.
Okay. And was Berkowitz, was he being used? Was he doing this willingly? Was he like...
He was doing it willingly, but he was also being used.
Okay, but...
He was willingly being used.
Yes, yes.
He wanted to, I think Berkowitz's profile is he just always wanted to be important and looked at. That's why he would taunt the police. So anything that was going to get him attention personally, he was all for. And now he just had a group of people, a beautiful woman who would talk to him, and that's just how he got suckered in. And then, what is it? People who lived in New York at the time of Son of Sam will compare the tone of the city during that time to the tone of the city around 9/11.
Yeah, wow.
Because that's what everybody remembers, just being terrified to go outdoors, because it seemed to be random where he would just pop up and murder people, and nothing like that had happened until that point. So he was another part of New York City where there is before and after this event. So, like, in the grand scheme of things, when I'm looking at serial killers, like, he's kind of a pussy serial killer compared to, like, Dahmer and people like that, but he just held New York in such a panic. And then and ironically, it all just seemed to fit together that the heat wave and the Son of Sam and all that just came together in that 1 year that lent itself to Call of Cthulhu just really well. An epilogue that I didn't end up doing, but I had thought about, was cutting back to Lafitte at his mansion in Louisiana and talking to his underlings and saying, well, that's fine. I expected this sort of thing to possibly happen. So our next opportunity would be, and he would list off, 2,400 and whatever days. I have something in the works to try again. And that math would have worked out to the next time of great fear being 9/11. So it just seemed like not like John Lafitte had orchestrated 9/11 to inspire fear to do this all over again. But I ended up doing that, and I thought it felt a little weird, and then I knew I would get the math wrong if I tried it, and then people would be like, "What is 2 years later? September 15th?
Forgot leap year.
Yeah, that does seem like the thing that, yeah, I could totally see that. I don't blame you for doing that either, because I wouldn't have.
Because that was Jacob's. Jacob had that idea, and I was like, "That's good. I'm gonna fuck that up though."
It's poetic because it's
Yeah.
New York again, and it like kind of bookends it, but that's also kind of tough because chances are more listeners of the show are around for September 11th than
The Son of
The Son
Sam,
of
so it
Sam.
feels different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think. What else did I have? Looking through my notes, because I know somebody had asked me for these notes, so I will take pictures of these and put them up on Tadpog Nation or send them to people. And then, of course, I tried to use Patreon donors when I needed an NPC who was real.
right.
Like, because Timothy Dowd was real from the beginning because he's the officer that did arrest Son of Sam, just like he did. So the whole goal was to have you guys do everything before the Son of Sam was arrested on August 10th. So you had the 5 days. That's why I set the time limit from the church had said to be that day, because he was arrested that day.
I'm glad that you just mentioned the time limit and all that. Can you tell us what the consequences would have been if we didn't do certain actions by a certain time? Because I remember you mentioned there being consequences.
The biggest one that you happen to find the day after, you would have had to have gone to Donna and G's apartment first in order to meet Zeus again. If you had gone somewhere, if you'd gone to the police station first and then to G's apartment, then you would have just went there and found the drugs gone. So I feel like that influenced it enough in that you felt more comfortable with Zeus because you would happen to stumble upon him and interact with him.
Right.
So I feel like that changed it. So just certain people would have been or would not have been available at certain times if you'd gone places in their different order.
Okay.
Had you not found, like, you could have finished the game without finding the gun if you had elder signed the portal, but you still could have won that way.
God, I didn't even fucking think about that.
Right.
Let's see. And then, because I tried to play with the answering machine about Ian saying, like, hey, I'm on my way over. Hey, I'm sorry, just come over. Like, they were having trouble, and Ian had doubts about the cult and things like that. And Steve was just the very pushy one in the relationship.
Why was Josh Edwards left alone in that apartment?
Because they're assholes.
Okay. All right. Done.
Let's see. Then my poor pronunciation of French. And I wanted to give Jean Lafitte like a Cajun accent, but I just couldn't pull that off well enough without like a lot of practice. So
Well,
I
let's
kinda
practice now.
Dropped it by the because as soon as that episode came out the next day, Jorge was like, "Oh yeah, nice job, motherfucker, with your French."
Oh, did I say French? I meant French.
French. Let's see. The Ultimate Book of Karate was sort of to pull you in and introduce you to, because Lafitte, because Chili Dog's POW is super high.
It was high. Yeah, it was.
So not many people
anymore.
have POW that high.
All that LSD, man. You're a super soldier now.
Killing people with mind bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've lost myself, unfortunately.
Zeus bent the rules and sort of let G into the lowest rank of the Knights Templar because he was extremely useful to circulating drugs.
Donna would have been too.
Donna would have been too, but I guess he could get a black man in to the lowest rank, but he's not going to get a black woman in at all.
So you were right, Nicole, when you said.
I knew it. I'm a woman. I know how this discrimination works.
Yeah. I'm
Because
sorry.
it was that's one thing. It was a very, very racist time in
Yeah.
New York, and I wanted to dote into it a little bit, but I also wasn't super comfortable.
Good
getting
call, I
into it.
think. I think you leaned the right direction on that one.
But like the Grand Lodge of New York is like their base of operations is a legit big place, like the first Masons and Knights Templar places in New York. I made sure all their ranks and stuff were official as to what they actually did. So Zeus, he was the master and commander of New York, and the Grand Master, which he absolute authority inside the Grand Lodge. And then G was a knight, so he was the lowest rank of acceptable. Let's see, he fuels his magic with despair. Being pushed about if magic was good or not, he would say, there is no good or evil, but if you're looking at the magic that has the least amount of fallout, that's voodoo, which is true. That is Call of Cthulhu canon as well. Like, there's not nearly as much negative effects to voodoo.
Like casting a voodoo spell?
Yep.
Or, okay. So like it requires less magic points, less sanity, that kind of stuff, less
Yeah.
personal sacrifice.
Yep.
Are the effects of voodoo
Not as
magic
good.
okay? Not as good. Gotcha. Why is that? Is there an explanation? Do you know? Is it because it's like earth magic or something like
Because
that? or-
like the spirits and stuff that are around there fuel it, as opposed to the insane elder gods and things like that.
the cosmos.
Yep.
If we were to cast, now that it's done, if we were to cast our characters and any characters in the whole game, like what's that casting look like? Like who plays Brock? Who plays Donna?
Beyonce.
Beyonce plays Donna. Oh, that'd be badass.
So from Goldfinger, Austin Powers.
Yes.
That
Yes. Giant afro. Yep.
I guess like
That was quick too. You like you've been thinking about that. Yeah.
a digitally miniaturized Tom Selleck, I guess.
All right. Okay. I totally couldn't get over the possibility of maybe you being I cannot remember his name now. Frank Reynolds.
Danny DeVito.
Danny fucking DeVito. Thank you. Yeah, because of your size. I totally drew a blank on that.
I want to fuck a sticky dog.
So that's why I was like the whole time I just pictured you as like just a
that's
fitter Danny
That's
DeVito.
perfect. Yeah, I like that.
And I think Chili. I would love to see Johnny H. Benjamin cast as Chili Dog.
I see T.J. Miller too. As
T.J.
Chili
Miller.
Dog.
Yeah, I was thinking that possibly as well.
Yep. Yeah. Beyonce's perfect. Brock is hard to nail down. I also see from Tony Soprano's nephew in The Sopranos.
Christopher.
Christopher.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
also
can't
see
think of the
Christopher.
actor's name, but yeah, just with a mustache that would work. Yeah.
Yep. Or even
I like him.
Jess from Gilmore Girls and the main character from Heroes.
Milo Ventimiglia. Ventimiglia.
Yeah.
Who is this?
He's good. Did you ever see any of Heroes?
Yeah, the first season.
He was the main character, the mimic, the main character.
Okay, I need to go back. All I can think of from Heroes is Hero
Oh, he's too young in Heroes, I guess.
and the cheerleader.
Milo in This Is Us, I think is because that's also the 70s and he's older and has a mustache. So I guess that's
Okay.
why he clicks with me there. That blew Melissa's mind. We were watching This Is Us and I was like, oh, that's Jess from Gilmore Girls. Fuck you, no, it's not. And she just looked at it. No. And she pulls out her phone, IMDb. What?
It's like I love them rewatching Gilmore Girls and that Dean is Sam. It's Supernatural.
Yep.
He looks so young, but yeah, Dean is Sam, whose brother is Dean. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just,
I know. It's
it
great.
makes me laugh.
I've teased Nikki about it a lot because she likes both of those shows. And I'll like walk through the living room and be like, is this Gilmore Girls with ghosts or no?
Is this Ghost More Girls?
Gilmore Girls? Is this Spook Sisters?
Oh man, but I feel like I'm glad that this gave us an opportunity to an RPG that took us forever to play through when we first started Call of Cthulhu.
It was Shining Force 2.
Shining Force 2.
Yeah. And it didn't take us.
I
It
feel
took
like-
me forever to play. I played through that game. Like, it took me forever to play
I mean,
through
it took me a little while to play through it too, and I did it on my own.
Yeah.
So as opposed to Twitch, but I feel like that helped Twitch tremendously, and you're doing a fucking amazing job with all that.
Thank you.
So,
It is growing. Hey, if you haven't followed us yet, do it, please.
but I still want to run. I talked to you a little bit about it, Dave, and Jacob, because I do want to do another when we need it. So maybe around like. Because I think it's going to take us forever when we get to Final Fantasy on the NES Classic list. I want to do this again. Maybe not make it 9 sessions like we did with Call of Cthulhu.
I do feel like as much fun as I had, and I don't feel like it didn't feel long to me as a player, but I can understand that these episodes.
If you didn't like them, it's been a long time.
As a listener, yeah, I can totally see a listener being like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
wrap it up, please.
Yeah.
This is how our games always go, though. They never progress at the rate we think.
Oh yeah,
Because Little Fears
Totally.
went a lot more succinctly than I expected. Like that went exactly how I expected it to go.
Yeah.
Also, my notes on Cat in the Hat were 2 pages,
Yeah,
so it was a lot easier to stick to that, and it was a lot more straightforward of a story.
and it
So
felt
that's what I'll
contained,
do.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this Call of Cthulhu game felt really open. Like it felt like
You're
there
in
were
a
so
city.
many options, but in the Little Fears game, it felt like the options. We had options, but they were essentially left door, right door kind of options,
So that's something I'll have to keep in mind, because when we get to that, I do want to, and take it in a different direction, because Little Fears and Call of Cthulhu are heavy horror, kind of thing. So the next game I want to do, I'd like to take on a twist on River City Ransom and do River City Stories and have everybody do it in D20 Modern, because I feel like that class system really fits that. So because you make strong hero, fast hero, tough hero, fits, everybody plays a brawler.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of in a cheesy, if a barbarian encampment were in the modern world, that is River City. And then it just be where you're all in the same gang in River City and give it a easy plot line, easy story, and then everybody play these fun, goofy brawlers, brutal, violent brawlers.
Chili Dog will reprise his role in River City Stories.
Just fresh from the
MK Ultra.
Like your character select, you'd have Ryu and Evil Ryu, then you've got Chili Dog and Ultra Chili Dog.
What I like to think is the River City Stories is actually just Chili Dog in MK Ultra. It's like just this world he's created because he's just had his mind just absolutely fucked with drugs.
So no, here's more LSD. No, Chili Dog, we're here to just give you ridiculous amounts of LSD.
So what's Brock and Donna's alternate characters, like Zombie Brock, Zombie Donna, just with that bullet hole.
Doc and Brana.
Yeah.
Again, man, I feel bad killing. It was hard to do. It's hard to do.
I thought it was fitting. I honestly did. And what I think is Chili Dog had actually come around full circle to trusting Zeus again, essentially because of something that Brock had said. God,
don't you pin this on me?
No. It was one of those things where it's it was during that phone call when you were talking to him where Chili Dog just decided where it's everyone else.
She almost said Dolly Chog.
Jolly Chog.
Chili Dog, Dolly Chog.
Dolly Chog. You guys remember when Dolly Chog changed his mind?
I only brought it up because I'm really amused by Dolly
Chog. That's how you start the spell to contact Cthulhu. Dolly Chog.
Dolly Chog.
So yeah, I'm blaming Josh.
It's fair.
It's fair. Because I was pleased the way that worked out, because I feel like that choice made it dynamic, and that the villain told you the truth.
Yeah, I know.
So it made it a very complicated.
And it seemed like a believable truth because, spoilers, it was the truth.
and it was still equally self-serving, because if you killed Zeus, that is the biggest thorn in his side removed.
Right.
So it was a total win-win for him.
Yeah.
Whenever he promised safety if he killed Zeus, was that a real promise? Could he really have given us safety? Or
See,
I didn't trust him as much as Zeus. I didn't trust Zeus, but I certainly didn't trust Lafitte.
He could have had Cthulhu come back. He could have had you avoid death, but death would still probably be preferable to what came after that, because you just would have been servants, sort of. Mm-hmm. Probably eventually. I mean, because Lafitte himself isn't safe from Cthulhu.
We would have been Cthulhu's fleshlights, essentially.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But you wouldn't have died.
Yeah.
And that's even still beyond Lafitte to really think that he could completely be immune, which he wouldn't be. So.
Do you think Lafitte is just constantly... Is he just edging out this Cthulhu summoning where he deep down knows that as soon as it's successful, he's going to die? And he's just afraid of success. He's just afraid of summoning Cthulhu.
He's called Cthulhu Thanos.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's probably a good way to think about it. So yeah, he wants it to happen, but at the same time, I will probably die.
Yeah, because he seems like a smart dude, but I guess he's also insane.
Yep. Also, insane from the mythos is different than just loss of sanity. Insane.
Is it a driven force kind of thing?
Yeah.
I have a question going back to River City Stories for a moment. Mm-hmm. This is super important, but when we do character creation, are we allowed to create the gang?
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Sweet.
That would be awesome to do.
Because I think that would be a lot of fun. To build a themed gang, I think that would be really cool.
So, yeah, that's if you guys want to do it, here it is. That's what we're doing. So, But it will be a while.
Think of a gang. Okay.
We're going to the F's for a while in the classic NES list.
You're going alphabetically?
We are.
I like alphabetically. That's good.
Touch your mind. That's why we did it.
Thanks.
I think it's going to come up faster than we think.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, I think it really is.
Balloon fight. Final Fantasy.
Bubble Bobble,
shit.
right? Castlevania. And then I don't know beyond that.
Yeah, I have to look it up
Other
too.
stuff.
Yeah.
Probably Final Fantasy.
But I feel like, and that's going to take me, man, to play through that, it's going to take a long fucking time.
Yeah.
Play through Castlevania, yeah.
Because, Dave's already beat Castlevania 3.
Oh, yeah?
He did it in a night.
Wow.
Yeah. It took like 4 hours, but it is done.
Yeah, and I blew my mind. Because that's a fucking hard game, and Dave destroyed it.
Yeah, I was wondering. Maybe it's Castlevania 2 I'm thinking of.
Simon's Quest.
Yeah.
I haven't
maybe.
played that
Okay.
one.
I think if you know what you're doing, you could beat it in like 45 minutes.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
But I've also, because I haven't played it, Castlevania 2 Electric Boogaloo, but I hear it is like impossible to like play going in blind.
Yeah, because nothing makes sense. The mistranslations and yeah.
So I honestly don't really have any desire to play it.
I would use a guide and just have it done to have it done.
Just for the experience.
Yeah.
Just watch the Netflix show.
God, so good.
It's a good
So
show.
fucking good.
I was probably
Did you like
I
it,
didn't
Nicole?
think it was that good.
No? What didn't you like about it?
I don't know. I didn't.
The goat fucking conversation is what turned her off.
Really?
Yeah.
In the bar?
I felt like it was unnecessary, but no, I just didn't.
Make
think it
medieval
was that
Europe
good.
great again. That's all it was about.
Yeah. Did you watch it all?
I didn't
Or
watch
did you
all of
check
it.
out? Okay.
I wasn't my intention to watch all. He was watching it on the couch, and
Yeah.
I was just there.
Yeah, I get it. Totally. Like I just said about Supernatural.
Yeah.
We'll stroll through and it's like, Gilmore Girls are ghosts. Cool.
I like Supernatural in theory.
Supernatural used to be good, and we've watched all of it, and at this point, it's just like
'Cause it's still going on.
Sunk cost fallacy. Like, yeah, like we have put so much time into this damn show, we have to keep watching it, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing every season.
Yeah. That's the way Grey's Anatomy sort of is. And I watched 13 seasons of that. And I'll watch the 14th season
man.
when it comes out in like a month.
I think that have we watched 14 seasons of Supernatural?
There's a lot. I think
It's about that, yeah. It's
Man.
a lot.
I mean, should have ended at like season 6.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that's the same for almost any TV show. Like 6, 7 seasons. Anything past that, I think it's super rare that it stays good. Super rare.
Yeah.
Like I think Friends is the only show where I can say like, yeah, I enjoyed like 8 and 9.
I think that's personal preference.
Yeah.
Because I check out on Friends probably around season 5 or so.
Yeah.
It's when they all like start.
They're all terrible people, and I don't know how you like that show.
Well, see, that's kind of what I'm leading into. They're all terrible people, and like great things keep fucking happening for them. Like just great things one after another. Like, I mean, and I get like the whole story arc of like Rachel, like coming into her own and like coming from like nothing to like a executive job or whatever. Like she has all these wonderful jobs, and it's like that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make you come to New York and it's like 2 years here you are running this kind of deal.
They're all terrible people, and they all treat each other like trash.
Yeah.
And it's awful.
But see, Seinfeld gets it right because they're horrible people, and it's just a wash. It's like their life. It doesn't matter.
Do you have anything else to talk about the game? Any questions?
I want to say that it was my understanding, based on the description of Call of Cthulhu, that it wouldn't be so much fighting as surviving. So I had not intended to fight and thought that I would probably die. And so going from that premise, I really felt like I felt freer with my character to just do whatever.
I agree. Totally.
Because I feel like this is not how I would normally have played a character.
Yeah.
So
Right. No, I get it.
And not gear yourself toward killing things like in almost every other tabletop game.
Well, I mean, it almost felt like, especially for Chili Dog, like I had nothing to lose other than I liked Chili Dog a lot. But it was like I kind of every time we played, I expected to die. So it's like might as well just risk it all and see if things turn out.
That's how I felt about the ray gun. It's like, why not? Why not try again? Why not try again?
Surprised me with that ray gun because it was just like at some point Nicole's gonna not want to use it, right? But it was like every turn it was like, all right, Nicole wants me to use it, and I kind of want to use it too. So here we go.
No, it did save your ass. So
Yeah, I'm glad that it went off finally.
It saved our ass because we fucked around so much trying to use it.
Totally.
So
I love the moment where Chili Dog just said fuck it and ran up and kicked Marianne in the face, so that was fun.
Because originally I had expected like, oh, okay, Steve will step to Chili Dog and we can have like a Ryu Ken style whose karate is better.
Yeah. As soon as he Tiger Kneed Tiny Detective, it was like, damn it, that was meant for Chili Dog, and I know it. I was like, oh, I wish it could have shook down that way, but
Yeah.
C'est la vie.
Because I was also like, man, he's got to pull that ripcord on that cloak of fire at some point and just fucking burn the world up.
I was gonna, but what happened was after I got hit, it was, if I use it,
Hit,
I'm dead.
Yep.
Because when I was down to 4 hit points, it's like, oh, okay. And when the spell, every time it absorbs damage, I'm dealt half that damage. So it's like, okay, I just got hit for 8. Okay, I'd be dead.
Yeah. Because that is the most, I don't know, the most classic tabletop RPG spell, I think, in Call of Cthulhu, in that it's
Really
powerful and lets you do.
Oh, I see.
Like it when I was reading it, I was like, did they get this from Naruto? This does not seem very Call of Cthulhu, but at the same time, like, well, like, it can kill you like pretty easily. So I guess that works.
It is a ridiculous spell. Like, I mean, you lift off the ground, you become wreathed in fire. Your dex and move like go up by double, I think.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of powerful offensive magic that's not either instant death, a ton of utility stuff, and a lot of necromancy.
Yeah.
Like Wither Limb and Stop Heart and stuff like that. So
Yeah, that Wither Limb was a bummer.
because I was looking there like, what can she do? What would she know to fuck? Oh, Wither, okay, yeah.
Hey, I'm glad I put ranks in kick.
Yep.
I really like, I love that deflect harm. Like,
Deflect harm's a good
especially as a
spell.
martial artist. It seems like it is like that.
And it
that
says that you can
combination.
avoid if you want to.
Yeah,
So.
so it allows you to dodge, and then if that fails, okay, deflect harm.
Yep.
So every time you use it, it just
It does
subtracts
pound at your
from-
sanity.
Yeah, and that was fine for Chili Dog because his sanity was crazy high for some
Yeah.
reason.
That's the thing. Yeah, had Robert been shot at, the bullets just would have stopped midair against his shield. Essentially, his deflect harm shield.
Yeah. See, I thought he was protecting the crystals that we were targeting, so that's why I stopped shooting those.
I see. I had no idea who Robert was protecting. I knew he was protecting something. I didn't know if he was protecting a whole area. That's why, like, when Chili Dog rushed up to attack Marianne, I didn't expect it to work because I thought he was protecting like.
It was
his
sort of
allies
sort of
thing.
a ruse to kind of
Yeah.
like, well, he's safe. Maybe they'll think and not attack
Right.
this, and so.
It was good. I enjoyed it, and I do. Nicole, I agree. As far as I didn't expect as much combat, but I'm glad that it was there because I do feel like the sessions that had combat were the most fun.
Yep, the hectic, like, am I going to live? Because
Yeah.
every single combat was that
Yeah,
way. Like,
everyone felt like this is it. I mean, when we fought Harvey, it was like this is it. Probably at least one of us is going to die. When we fought the what was it called in the below the sewers? The wormy
The
guy.
Chthonian.
The Chthonian. Like, seriously, I thought 2 of us were going to die at least. Like, I thought that was going to happen, and it was like I'm thinking, well, I don't know how Tyler's going to roll with this. Are we going to make new characters, or is it just going to be Josh and Tyler running the next few sessions?
the only saving grace to a lot of those monsters is their actual hit percentage is pretty low.
Yeah.
Like, so I think the Chthonian only had a 40% chance of hitting you had he come at you. I mean, more than likely, it would have killed you. The only thing that had a high attack were Steve, Ian, Robert, Marianne had high attacks with firearms and martial arts and stuff like that. And that there was a Hound of Tendalos was that thing that was summoned.
So that just proves the most dangerous villains are men.
Man,
Man himself.
it had like a 90 with its paw.
The Hound of Sagalos.
The Hound of Sagalos. It had the highest attack I'd seen in anything. in the book.
90%.
Yep.
I'm glad that Chili Dog's dodge was 70.
And it was like, a D6 plus the venom plus his damage bonus, but like
Yeah, that's a game over.
nearly kill you, and then next round poison kills you. Like,
Yeah.
had it hit you.
Yeah.
So, and ling spiders are really nasty too. What Harvey was.
Yeah.
So, all worked out.
If a dog showed up randomly in your house and told you to do things, like, how do you think you would react to that in real life?
Oh, the same way in the Son of Sam movie,
Which I
You've
haven't seen.
That. I've seen Phil posted the clip of that. And It's the most ridiculous fucking thing I've ever seen.
I guess I wasn't aware that there is a movie.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Is it like a B movie or is it like a good movie?
It's Spike Lee, but I think it's Spike Lee. but it's one of it's a bad movie of his.
Interesting.
I think that's who did it. But it's more about the people in New York at the time than it is actually
Right.
about Berkowitz.
Yeah, that makes sense, respectfully.
It is called Summer of Sam. It came out in 1999, and it has a Rotten Tomatoes score of 51%.
Well, I mean,
Because it almost looks like America's Funniest Home Videos, where like Harvey's talking to Berkowitz, and it's just like the most awful, and then Berkowitz just starts laughing. I will do as you say, master. Ha 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 ha! Like it's ridiculous.
which is to be fair, probably how I'd react.
If Max like kill Nicole, kill Mother, yes, yes.
Do as you say.
Richard's like, yeah, do it.
They actively try to kill me, so I wouldn't be surprised.
So we're all going to get together for our Summer of Sam viewing party
Yeah,
next
Yeah.
month.
I
Excellent.
did want to. I never ended up doing it. I think I couldn't find it for streaming or something. But like it was made in the 70s. The Call of Cthulhu movie. I want to say
Yeah.
it's Dunwich Horror.
Yeah,
Is that?
I know
okay.
the one you're talking about.
Yeah. I wanted to watch that because it was made in the 70s. I
Yeah.
think it's set in the 70s as well. So.
There's a really good B movie.
It's certainly
the
like
B movie,
yeah.
with Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, oh man, guys, I've never seen it. I feel like maybe I should see the B movie at some point in time.
I saw that version that Brainy Jr. showed me, where every time they say B movie or say the word
speeds
B,
up, it doubles?
It doubles the
Yeah.
speed, and it's like 7 minutes long.
I love it. I love those kinds of videos. There used to be on Netflix the Dagon movie, which is a B movie, but it was a lot of fun. I thought it was, as far as like a B movie goes, like it was totally watchable. There's tits in it, so just
Oh, okay.
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Now I've got
so-
everybody's
yeah.
attention.
I think that's good then.
Tits, yes.
Tits, good.
Yeah, is that it? This is a short one. We cool with that?
Yeah.
All right.
I think once we do our outro and thank people and stuff, if you want, that'll
Yeah,
be
let's do that. We totally
So.
do need to thank people.
so. Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iCloud, not
And
SoundCloud and iTunes come together. It's iCloud.
iCloud. What did I say earlier? Dolly Chaw?
Dolly Chaw.
Dolly Chaw.
You slipped into an alternate dimension where it's iCloons.
You know what would be awesome is if, okay, so we do have some listeners who, for some reason, like going back and listening to the whole backlog of our terrible show that we do. What I would love is for somebody to note all of the nonsense words that we accidentally say, and then we make a language out of it.
Yeah, just please go through our backlog and just pick us apart and then write mistakes this episode.
Or is there a hidden message there somewhere? Was it accidental or intentional?
You string all the mistakes together, it says when we're going to die.
Actually, it unlocks MK Ultra. Which,
there you go.
which in our case stands for Mortal Kombat Ultra.
And we're on YouTube. A lot of shit's on YouTube.
We are. Thank you, executive producer
In the
Janie.
hundreds. So good. So good. Let's see. We got some packages
Yes,
to go through, so we're going to start doing those.
we're pretty sure that the capsaicin has been received, which you may or may not already know by the time this releases.
Yep. So that'll be this month's Patreon.
Or last month's, depending on when this episode comes
That's
out.
true.
No one knows. It's a mystery.
Yeah. So I guess it is pretty. It's late in the month. You're right. So yeah.
So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you
Whoa.
enjoy our spectral voices from
Yep.
beyond the
Because we
grave.
could be dead.
Josh, Nicole, you agreed to take the pure capsaicin with us, right?
No.
No. Okay. I
I
misunderstood.
we're just on standby.
Yeah.
We're gonna take over the podcast if
Oh.
you guys die.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
good.
works.
Good.
That
Good. 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 That makes me feel better knowing that the TADPOG legacy could live on.
But yeah, thank you for playing in this game.
Thank
Call
you
of
for
Cthulhu.
Yeah, thanks for asking
you
us.
We got all the schedules and everything lined up, late nights. So
If you guys take over the show, I think it would be great if you renamed it Jan Pog and you totally talk about Jan Brady. That's what the podcast is all about. Every time you get together.
Jan Brady and Pogs. Yeah.
Yes, and Pogs. Oh, Jan Brady Pogs.
Pogs. You custom make them.
I found a real sweet one in my house because I made it. But in this one, Jan's very angry at Marsha.
This one's very rare. It's worth $10,000. There are only 3 of them in the world.
How much was this Pog on Amazon?
$1 million? Damn it! Did you look on Amazon?
I love this. I love this world we've constructed.
Yeah, and I'm picturing me and Nicole just in our living room with all the equipment set up, but none of it's just plugged in. Like it's all just everything's dark.
You meant recording equipment. I assumed you meant Pog equipment.
With our Pog craftery.
Sweetheart, did you turn down the Pog machine? Did you? Let's go. I woke up and there were all these Pogs in the living room.
Let's see what else we got. If you want to send us packages, because we've got a few on deck, we can always use more. So if you want to send anything to TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, PL Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42003. Or 42002.
No, I agreed with you too quickly.
Yep. 2 was my old zip code.
We do have a Patreon. If you enjoyed this and you want to get access to the bonus episodes that we do, as a thank you to everybody who donates, you can go to patreon.com/tadpog and chip in $1. And you'll not only help us continue to do this, but you'll also get access to those bonus episodes. I do want to take a moment to thank some of you who have been extremely generous in donating. Right off the bat, I've got Platinum member Brett Miller. Thank you very much for upping your donation. I've also got Lord, aka Lord Dennis, who just recently upped his pledge. Thank you very much, Dennis. Douglas, formerly of Better Made, thank you very much for upping your donation as well. And that might be it. So thanks, guys. And also thanks to everybody who is following and viewing on Twitch. You can find us Tadpog_podcast on Twitch. If you want to hang out with me while I play through some of these Nintendo games, I have been recently on a huge Sonic the Hedgehog tear. I have played through 8-bit Sonic 1, Sonic 2, 16-bit Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles, and I'm on Sonic CD right now. What's up, Gigglies? Hey, would you like to share with the class?
No.
No? Are you sure?
Uh-huh.
You both look very embarrassed right now. I feel like I missed something good.
We were doing tongue stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, really? And I missed the tongue stuff?
My tongue acrobatics.
Yeah. She's more skilled with her tongue than I am.
Sorry, Nicole. And congratulations, Josh.
Thank you.
Let's see. You want to call us? Got a phone number for that?
Yeah, 270-883-2555. Something like that.
Yeah, we'll get to those calls.
Eventually.
Yep. What else we got? Anything? Shirts, Amazon,
Yep.
search for Tadpog.
You can buy a shirt.
Okay.
That's probably it.
Our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive. Link to that track in the show notes at tadpog.com.
So are we using moves for this? Or are we using
I'll use Moves at the end.
the Dark Carnival thing? That I don't know what the name of that song is.
Disco Paradise.
Disco Paradise,
I think
not
that's
Carnival.
it, by Gronkowski, something like that.
Disco, Carnival, same thing.
Yeah, Disco Carnival. How you guys want to close this out?
I defer to Josh.
As our characters, I guess.
Okay.
Our final send-off. Okay.
So until next time.
Was that Cthulhu?
That was the alien that you contacted with the ruby.
Venus Fly Trap,
I
dude.
got you.
Oh, I have one more question about the Call of Cthulhu
Yes.
game. How annoyed were you with us when we started opening crates in the warehouse?
That's what I wanted you to do, to find the artifacts. So it was totally good.
Because it was one of those things where it's like, I guess we're just going to keep open boxes until Tyler's like, fuck you guys.
Fuck you guys, Earthquake Cube.
Exactly.
I don't.
You sounded like a cartoon rabbit.
I don't.